Hello, and welcome to One Dope Chick Who Didn't Quit, the show where we turn pain into power and manifest our dreams. We'll discuss the ins and outs of life, love, and letting go so you can grow. Now here's your host, Trena Be Real.
Hold your head up, put a smile on your face. This is another chance.
One of the things in life make you appreciate coming this time. Glad you're not doing it. Get ready for your blessing. Get ready for your makes no difference. How y'all doing today? You know it's Feel Good Friday now. Be all right. Hey, come on now. Get ready for your blessing. So you know I had to feel good with a little spiritual. You know I had to bless y'all tonight with a little spiritual feel good because you know Norman Hutchinson was one of my favorite when I was growing up, and he's still my favorite right now, y'all. How y'all feeling my new vibrational haircut? Because I'm feeling good. It's your girl Trena Be Real, and welcome to the One Dope Chick Who Didn't Quit. That's right, I'm here on Feel Good Friday. It is still Women's History Month, and we are still feeling fabulous and faboo on Queen Blueprint TV. You see I'm wearing my royal blue, honey, because it is Feel Good Friday, honey. And I sip tip because I'm alone tonight. My co-host is out in Atlanta having a great time doing what we do because we have to travel and see the world, darling, even in the midst of a pandemic, darling, because we have to make sure that we are living with more faith than fear. That's how you got to proceed in this decade right now. In 2021, you gotta push your fear to the side and work with your faith. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Tonight, I have some of my wonderful, wonderful vibrational sisters joining me because it is Women's History Month, but it's also time to heal and be real, okay? It is time to let go of the imposter syndrome, whatever you've been going through in your life, and together we will get through this. That's why I'm the one dope chick who didn't quit. I'm not going to quit on myself, and I'm not going to quit on you. I'm going to be here every Friday bringing you some of the most interesting people you've never heard of, but now you're going to get to know some creatives and entrepreneurs living their dreams by any means, but most of all by faith. Faith alone, that's what's getting them through, okay? And on Queen Blueprint TV, where royalty lives, we're going to show you how to get into your royal throne, darling. I want you to understand who you are and whom you are and why you're here. And so today we're going to start dealing with generational systematic generational trauma. And I have a mental health specialist, Chantelle Doswell. She's going to come in. My tongue got a little tired because I've been having technical difficulties tonight. At first, it wouldn't come on. It was a lot going on because we about to talk about some serious stuff. And when you're talking about serious stuff, you got all kind of things trying to stop you from getting on to making sure that we get strong. Because right now, everything, even the thing that went on in Atlanta, I'm not going to talk about the news because what we're not going to do tonight is we're not going to live what the news is feeding us. We're going to start doing our own research. We're going to See, I'm having technical difficulties. Now, I didn't even hit the button. I didn't touch nothing, y'all. I'm telling you, somebody's trying to mess us up. So before they try to mess us up anymore, let me get my next co-host, Ms. Chantelle Doswell, on so we can talk. She deals with trauma and anxiety. She specializes in trauma and anxiety, okay? So for all my people that are suffering tonight, you will find some resources for you to start channeling your trauma and your anxiety into tools that will help you become a better you, okay? So tonight we're going to start dealing with that. And before I go any further, let me take a sip for the people in the back who didn't know. Pink Moscato is the way to go. All right, let's get my first guest and my beautiful co-host tonight, Miss Chantelle Doswell, on the line. Hi, Chantelle. How are you?
I feel like I gotta move to the left so people know I'm not naked. But let me move back.
Listen, you look beautiful as usual. I'm excited to have you on my Free and Friday, on my second to last Friday of March. You know, this is the season. My season is about to end on Queen Blueprint TV. This will be, you know, I'm having a season now. I'm somewhere where we're having a season. So my first season, I'm actually official first season, will be ending after next Friday. And so before I left, cheers to my first season. Cheers, darling. Cheers, darling. Clink, clink. So excited to have you here tonight because with so much going on in the world, and I know myself, when this pandemic first started, I was like stuck to the TV. I was like listening to the news. I was psychologically being traumatized every day. And I started feeling hopeless, and I started having headaches, and I started having anxiety that I had never experienced in my life based on what I was being fed by the media. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about it, and, you know, the good thing is that I had people around me to give me different resources and different tools, but a lot of times people don't have that, right? And, you know, systematically, we've been given generational things from our parents that we don't even know until you get older, that you have to retrain your thought process. Like what your mom and them did ain't how you got to do, right? You got to think a little better, be better, try to be more optimistic, you know, and find other things. So I wanted to have you here tonight to talk to the people, because after what we just saw in Atlanta, and they're not calling it a hate crime, which I'm disheartened about. And you know, we need to get into, I want to talk about that a little bit. This, you know, I mean, 8 women were shot by a man because he was attracted to Asian women, and they don't see a hate crime in this. And so this is a problem in America. We really need to talk about that.
Yep. Well, Trena, that's a lot. I don't know where you want me to start. I don't know what.
Listen. My show is the free flow. You just swim wherever you want to jump in, because there's so much to jump into.
So let's talk about the hate crime thing, because that's the least related to what I do, but I do have thoughts about this, because what I find interesting is that every single time that a white person goes on a shooting spree, and I mean really a white man, the psychological factor to it that comes up is it's not a hate crime if we could figure out why we would have killed the person other than their race. And in this case, I think because they're sex workers, people are like, well, we thought they were just Asian. Now that we know that they're sex, where it's like, it's okay to kill a Black person if they're a gang member, or it's okay to kill Breonna Taylor because her ex was a gang member. Like, all we need to do is have 1 degree of blame in it, and it's not a hate crime anymore. It's something that's justified. And they had the nerve to come up with a statement saying he had a bad day, and this is how it ended. Ice Cube came out with a song called Today is a Good Day, because for some of us, we always have bad days. And we don't, you know, nobody getting shot today is a good day in some neighborhoods. But
right.
You have a bad day, you shoot up 2 different massage parlors.
It was 3. It was 3.
3, right?
Yeah. And these were places that he had frequent, and he had these different procedures done. And so I actually read some of the article, because I heard about it, but I try not to look at the news, because I just feel like they're just force feeding us death and destruction and separation. They're just making us not communicate. I mean, even when you go places now, people are like the mask police. Like, if you don't have on a mask, you're almost about to get tackled. Okay, they're going to tackle you if you ain't got no mask on. I'm just telling you, people looking at you like they're going to cut you like you ain't got no mask, or the people that have decided they want to get the vaccine the first go round. Listen, it's great. I just don't be listen, what your preference is don't got nothing to do with me. If I want to see how it's working for you, it's great. Like, you should be optimistic enough to let me have my own opinion, just like you have your own opinion. And people are actually, like, you can tell that there's going to be a shift in a minute from the people who got their passport and the people that don't got their passport. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just preparing myself for that, because I just think it's very interesting how people that you love, like, they've turned family members, they're afraid for you to come over, because they're like, well, you know, you might not have no symptoms. I'm like, but I ain't sick though. But you know, you ain't got to be sick. You ain't got to have no symptoms. And I'm like, so we going to just never see each other. We never going to hug each other. We never going to be around each other, because we hypothetically could kill each other.
But you know, people are scared. That's really, I mean, it's interesting. So this is something that I try to break down with people that I work with, just so that they're clear with themselves on like what's going on. If people get really judgmental, it can seem like they feel secure and they feel like your stuff is messed up and they're worried about you. But if there's a lot of judgment coming out, that means that's actually a sign that you just don't really feel safe in any situation. So
Right.
if you catch somebody just throwing a bunch of shade, just so over and over and over and over, like the odds are that they don't feel secure. They don't really feel safe. It's not really so much about the fact that they really feel so much better than everybody. They don't feel safe without all of that. And so they try to control your mask and my mask and, you know, the air and the people running by. And it's like, it's a good way to try to control everything, but you're not going to be able to do it, you know, like that's the hard part about it is I think things are opening back up whether people are ready for it or not. I don't know how ready people really are because we've been inside for like a year now in New York.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I've seen it. I've seen people where the world is open. And I mean, this was a lady with her kids in Walmart, and you had the employees in Walmart with their masks on, like, ma'am, you need a mask. And because she was a post-traumatic stress veteran who said that she can't wear a mask because she feel like she's suffocating. Like she had a real issue, a real reason. Like the people really have things where these masks don't feel comfortable. And I get it. Some people feel they're safe with the mask. I don't personally know if the mask is actually keeping me safe or preventing my lungs from doing what it's supposed to do that it's been doing all my life, protecting me, right? Because they've also said the masks are not, you know, they can keep you from spreading it, but they're not. There's a lot of different theories, right? And I just know I don't want to live in fear. I feel like 2020 put us in a fear that no one can explain. And when you do the research and you have actual facts, no people want to argue with you with shit they heard. But did you read it somewhere? Like, that's my thing. Like, if you can show me the research and your facts, I'm all for it. But I'm just so tired of people trying to force what they heard on me. Like, if you can actually go into a book, because nobody reading shit, I'm reading. And when the shit I'm reading ain't making me feel confident, like I'm not a Wikipedia type of person. I actually read, even if I can't pronounce the shit, I'm gonna read it and then Google how to fucking pronounce it and figure out what it means.
You better learn.
I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna be willing to learn. But you got people who don't read. They just heard the news said, and the person said, and my cousin said. That's why they sold out all that damn toilet paper. Because somebody from the Pentagon said, "Look, y'all better stock on toilet paper." Somebody had a Pentagon cousin, somebody that worked at the Pentagon, spread the news. Listen, it's about to be a lockdown. Get you some toilet paper. Nobody thought about water. I'm like, I thought we need water. I never thought about wiping my ass. I thought about saving my ass, drinking water. This is a whole different type of survival kit. You know what I'm saying? So.
I mean, the toilet paper wasn't a terrible idea, but the milk I didn't understand. Now the milk wasn't the milk I didn't understand.
I didn't even know people was taking milk.
Because people, every time there's a storm or an emergency of any sort, milk and toilet paper.
I know bread, they take the bread. I don't know what they kind of saying. They eat a lot of bread, a lot of sandwiches, but we're not looking at, okay, first of all, if you look at the vaccinations that the children have been given for centuries, now that we know it has mercury in it, it's all kind of things that we should not be having in our bodies. And because we survived it, now some of us didn't do well. Some of us got other situations and illnesses, but nobody talks about it. And it's like the FDA has a right to do whatever they want as long as they don't kill enough people. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too many. I don't know. I'm gonna stay over here with the people that still do it, because you got a lot of people in the medical field who haven't taken it either. Okay.
Well, listen, every single time that a person has a distrust of any system in America and they're Black, I'm like, you know, you could say it's unreasonable, but if you look at the history, it's not a great track record. Not everything that we do is necessarily created in the best of intentions and the best of methods, especially not for Black folks, and especially not for Indigenous folks and other people who have been in this country trying to get experimented on and tested on and things like that. Hey, Queen.
And so, yeah. And so for me, just knowing all of that and feeling, you know, strong in who I am as a woman, that, like I said, I'd rather do a little bit more research. I'm not saying that I don't, for people that want to get it out, congratulations. I feel happy for you. See my joy? But don't be mad that I don't want to do it. Like, I just have a problem.
I think they're about to start making people get it in order to do certain things. Because I was looking at today. So I don't know which way it's going to go. I might get the vaccination just to make sure that I'm good, so other people will come around me and I can still do business. Like, I don't even know. Because
that's the next phase of it. Like, well, people are going to want to know, well, I've had mine. Did you have yours? Right? And so that's going to be the next, you know, we talked about, you know, so much of the belly of the beast. And we talked about like what the mark was going to be. Like, you know, this is a genetic processing that we're all been forced to take, no matter how we take it and when we take it. But we are being forced. Hey, Richard Bird, how you doing? And at this point, like, as an actor, I want to work. But now this is going to be where I'm going to have restrictions. If I don't get this vaccine, I might not be able to work. Like you said, unless you're being able to create your own revenue, you're going to have your passport. And it ain't going to be about going to another country. It's going to just be able to go to the store and be in the store where the people that got a passport can shop at. Or you're going to have certain hours for the people who ain't been vaccinated. Like, I just know they're going to come up with something. So, hug on your friends and start trying to, you know what I mean? Because it's different now. The world, like I said, I see it for myself. People don't want you to come over unless they know your status,
Into what happened with polio?
Yeah.
What do you mean, in the HIV thing?
No, just basically how, the effects on what they've given us, they've given us something for polio or given us, just everything has been created in a lab somewhere, basically. I guess that's what she's trying to say. And so if we look at the research on polio, that was another thing to figure out how to depopulate people, to try to create hysteria and fear, where if you didn't, get this certain vaccine, you could get polio. It's just a lot of thinking to do. And I just want people to do more research before they start forcing their thoughts on other people. That's all I'm asking. Because we have been generationally, like I feel like we've been given things that our grandma or mother decided that was best for us, and they didn't never read. The doctor said it and they did it. And then, now we learning. Like baby powder. Whoever known? Now, you know how much baby powder my mother used to put on me?
Oh, you mean like the talcum powder?
Yes, my mama baby powdered me down. Okay.
And you know who is benefiting? Those victims' rights lawsuits. All of those people.
Yeah. So, people don't want to talk about it. These are the conversations that are uncomfortable. They want to talk about all the Grammys and who won the Grammys. All that's great. But if we don't get some real conversations about how we're going to get this world to become a better place for the next generation of people that have to live out here, because life is it's not about us. Like, we're here to make it better and fix the things that we know that we're seeing in our faces, just not right. You know what I mean? So what would you suggest? Since we're with this COVID thing and people are having so much anxiety and trauma, what would you suggest people do right now? Because I know you have a writer's retreat coming up, and our next guest is going to elaborate more on it. But what would you say from a mental health perspective? Like, if they're not in therapy, because there is a lot of resources that people can do now virtually if you don't have a therapist. Help us, Chantelle. Just a couple, not a lot, just a little bit.
Well, I think there's a couple of basic organizers that we got to get straight so that people can do the work for themselves. The first thing is that there's no such thing as a bad feeling, right? Everything that you feel, everything good or bad, serves a function. So every feeling has a function. And if you can remember that there's nothing that's conspiring against you inside of your own body, that you're trying to protect yourself, you're trying to survive, right? You need to be able to sit still and understand not just that you're feeling, but also what you're needing, right? And so safety is something that you can provide for yourself if you pay attention to what your body feels like and what moves it towards that, right? And what's hard for a lot of people is we're trying to do work that's creative, that's connected, that requires us to have all sorts of curiosity and all sorts of, ingenuity. And we're doing it in a body state, in a mind state where that work is impossible. So without trying to get calmer, without trying to get more grounded and more present, either you're doing anxious work, which is prone to error, because we all know when you don't feel grounded and you don't feel good, you don't even work right. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna make a typo. You're gonna proofread it after you printed it and already submitted it, and now you see it because you're calm all of a sudden. That's the kind of stupid stuff that happens just because we think that we need to stay wound up in order to survive. But the truth is, most of us at this point, we're a year into this thing, we know enough, our instincts know enough, we've learned enough to let go of the hyper anxiety and just be present. Be here now so that you can take care of yourself here and now. And if something's really going on, you could take care of it here and now and not try to, hold everything in and then explode on somebody in your apartment or something like that. Because I think the hardest part of this is that a lot of us do not do well coping alone, but it is possible. And in African-centered traditions, your body is a way of knowing. It's not just your thoughts. So you can't be, oh, I'm smart, so I can think my way through this. I can control my way through this. That's working hard and not smart, because you're never going to be able to fix it all and do it all by yourself. So hopefully you can give into your body. You can give into your needs. You can give into loving yourself enough to really just let your spirit guide you and tell you what kind of is best for you. Because you don't need to go to therapy to do that. You just need to get comfortable with stillness. Oh, you're muted.
Here, I'm over here, the fire engine. You know, I'm over here living next to the hood. Because and the fire engine, like,
it could have been my neighborhood.
I'm like, hey. But I'm still feeling good because I'm free and Friday. And I'm telling you, Chantelle was telling people, so I didn't want them to miss the message. But that's what it's really about. Being still with yourself, people. Like that's the most powerful thing, if nothing else, is once you do that and start really like sitting in whatever it is that you don't feel good about yourself and working through that, you know, it gets better, because that actually becomes your message and that actually becomes your purpose. You know, like feeling good about yourself starts from the inside, because we are great individuals. Each and every one of us was born to do something greater than what we see right now. If you might not know what it is, I promise you, I listened to Les Brown tonight. I figured out some more stuff for myself. Like every day we're growing. We're like, I'm glad to be a flower. I think I'm an orchid. I'll take an orchid. That's my flower. That's my love language flower, I'm gonna be an orchid, right? And as I'm being an orchid, I realized that I need a lot of. I need sunlight, but I don't need too much because I'm delicate. You know, and I'm sensitive. I'm very, even though I'm a tough, I act like I'm tough, like a tough love dog, but I'm sensitive, you know? And I had to learn to be sensitive because like Chantelle, I was always trying to fix everything and I thought I knew everything. And sometimes you have to listen and your tribe will find you because you'll be willing to grow and accept the things about yourself that you need to change to be a better person for others, right? And you won't be so selfish. Right? Because life is not about us. It's about being able to help other people. And in that, you'll be helped because people will want to help you, right? Like you'll attract your tribe. You'll attract, like right now, me and Chantelle are about to do something amazing. You know, we're actually partners and in a situation coming real soon that's going to help people, right? And it's the blessing of it is that we believe enough in that it's not about us. And not being selfish, taking something outside of ourselves and giving is really the process. You know what I'm saying?
It's interesting, right? Because you have to start by really asking a genuine, do I love myself? Do I like myself? Am I comfortable with myself? Then you can give of yourself, right? But I feel like a lot of people are sitting down and they don't. Like when they ask themselves, like when I look at myself, do I really like what I see? Do I really feel like I have something to offer? They don't feel like they do. And it's not because they don't, because I work with people every single day that feel like that. It's because they don't to someone else. Like they're seeing themselves through the eyes of someone else. And that's where this gets into dangerous territory. Like you can help people, but you're nobody's like perfect person. You meant to help who you meant to help. Your spirit is meant for what it's meant to do. But you have to be able to see yourself clearly enough to know what you gotta give to the world. And I think, you know, if nothing else, this quarantine time hopefully has given people time to reflect on what they think they genuinely care about and what they're passionate about and what feels important to them. Because I know sitting in front of these Zoom calls don't feel like it. Right. Like that's the point of this life is to go to 9 to 5, make your money. And as many people as you hear like, well, I should be grateful I got a job. But are you? Like, but are you really? Like,
right.
You gotta live the life you really mean. Be intentional.
Be intentional. You heard that, people, right here on the One Dope Chick Who Didn't Quit. That's why I don't quit, because I'm intentionally loving on y'all. Y'all can't stop this love that I have for y'all. You understand? And you gotta just, you know, you gotta have it from the inside out. You know, I'm so grateful that every time I go through something, it makes me better because I'm like knowing that somebody gonna need me, you know, and I'll have the tools and I won't be so selfish and say like, girl, you just suffer. No, girl, I'll be shining with people. I'm like, look, let me tell you what you're gonna learn from this. Let me tell you what I learned, because everything that we go through now, I'm telling you, I promise y'all, I'm living proof. And you know, the best is yet to come. I ain't even told y'all half of stuff. That's what Chantelle said. Because you know, I be ready to. And Chantelle was like, "Nope, don't get to him.
Don't give him the whole cake now.
I can't give y'all the cake." Like, so I had to, because I be ready to tell how good God is. You know, that's why I had to come up. Yeah, that's why I had to come up with "Makes no difference what you're going through. God's he gonna hear you and see you, and he gonna get you through. Don't you listen? Y'all better listen to that song. The words will touch you. I'm telling you. Sometimes you gotta get a song that's gonna be your message to get you. Okay, before I talk anymore, because you know I can keep going. I'm gonna get a writer on here, because she's gonna help you write your song. She's gonna help you write a poem. She actually got a writer's workshop getting ready to go on right now, because I think y'all don't really understand how these songs be helping. Because you know, I'm a down low singer on the low. I ain't got no rhythm in no song, but I'm a down low singer. But my next test gonna help you guys write your love song, write your love book, write your story. She got a writer's retreat coming up at the end of April that will change your life. So before I go anymore, let me bring on J Rose with the J Rose experience. Hey, J Rose.
Hi, peace.
Tonight, girl. Yes, I had to let you come save me, because you know me. I be ready to tell people all the good stuff. I'm like,
I know. You get excited sometimes.
Yes,
when you have
listen, that's
so great.
That's why God put the kind of people around me, because he like, no, we are protected on this go around, because you know you talk too much. So that's just what happens. So I tell the truth about me. Most people don't want to tell the truth about them, but I tell the truth about me. And that's why people love that. I got, you know, you got to have the people that love you, that help you be better. You know what I'm saying? That help you get to where you're going to go. And so I thank you for joining us tonight. And you guys have a writer's retreat coming up. And so I wanted to talk about that. I have so much up here that I'm looking for, but I wanted you guys to talk about, you know, first of all, J Rose is a dope poet. If you guys have not checked her out, okay, let me tell you, she got me ready. I got a notebook now messing with J Rose.
Yes.
I'll be ready for the retreat. If I have any energy in me when I get back, I'm in there. I'm figuring out. But if not virtually, I'm gonna have to, you know, do some kind of, because she has a retreat. They have a retreat, you guys, coming up at the end of April for all my writers and writers and people that want to write. Okay, because you might not know you're a writer yet, right? You might need to experience a writer's retreat to have the writer in you unleashed.
Yeah.
Right? And you know, you gotta get around people that do that, right? That their minds can make you feel poetic. So, you know, because some people, you know, you hanging around your little broke friends, they not helping you be poetic. They just gonna keep you broke spirited. So
broke spirited though.
Yeah, broke spirited. That's a new word. We're gonna coin that and put it on a t-shirt, because it's true. Most people want you to be better and bigger than them, and they not telling you they see you like, you know, you artistic and you got a gift. They ain't really popping that out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you actually inspired me to not live in the past and be last in line, and to take my creative juices and to flow. And so I want you to tell all the people in the back how to get their rhythm.
Well, yeah, it's actually a collaborative event with Chantelle. It kind of was something that I years ago, I originally was like, oh, I would love to do a retreat for creative people. And it kind of was just like an idea that just sat in the back burner for a while. And then a couple months ago, Chantelle reached out to me and was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this like retreat. Thinking about doing it for like writers or something. Would you like to collaborate with me? And I was like, oh my gosh, you're taking like the dreams right off of my notepad, and like, let's do it. I'm ready. You know, I guess when it was originally an idea, I wasn't ready for something like that. But, you know, time happened, and, you know, timing is everything. And, you know, when Chantelle approached me with the opportunity to collaborate with her on an event like that, I was like, of course, why not? So it's just basically a 3-day getaway. We're gonna have some workshops and activities, some stuff in nature. It's called the Unplugged Retreat Writers Edition. I'm gonna be hosting some writing workshops, and Chantelle will be hosting some workshops that are more centered around like mental health and self-awareness, and body of movement and things like that. So it's gonna be really dope. I'm super excited. It's up in the Catskill Mountains. So,
right, it's COVID safe. They have all the COVID restrictions. They are ready and prepared for you guys to have a weekend getaway where you can actually learn and get, really find out who you are. Like get somewhere where you can actually get into with nature. Get away from technology. Like put your Instagram, your Facebook, leave it all alone for 5 days and just really have time to like really create something.
Yeah, it's sometimes like as a creative person, especially
people want to know how they buy tickets. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, you can head over to either my page or Chantelle's page on Facebook or Instagram. You can follow me at the Rose Garden Events, or my humble thoughts.
Yeah, you can go to the website. You
gotta change that.
You can go to the website, which is simple. It's just unpluggedjourney.com, just like it sounds, unpluggedjourney.com.
Oh, so perfect.
And it'll be super, J Rose is giving you like the real hard parts of the retreat. Like we're gonna be doing workshops, like y'all gonna be getting in time where you really get to work on your writing and work on your anxiety and work on your self-doubt and work on your meditation and mindfulness and all that. But also like there's hikes and like arts and like massages and dinners and campfires. Like it's just gonna be relaxation in the mountains on a ranch. There's literal like horses over on the other side of the ranch. Like we're gonna be on a legit.
Yeah. What's dope about it is like, especially the last year that we've kind of all been placed into this space that we never expected to be in, especially as creatives. And a lot of people are kind of like going crazy. So, this is like an opportunity to change your environment, be somewhere different that you're not used to being in, and kind of challenge yourself as a writer, so we're going to have a really good time. I'm really excited about it. It's kind of like a dream come true for me. So it's like, I'm hyped for it.
And listen, people, you need to do this because you have to take time for yourself. You have these dreams and inspirations that like this vision that you want greatness, but don't want to invest. This is the time to invest in yourself. Y'all got that STEMI money and people doing all kind of great STEMI crazy stuff. Don't do nothing stupid with your STEMI money. Don't join Susu Circle. Don't flip no coins in the stock market if you don't know about cryptocurrency. If you are trying to write a book, if you're trying to write a business plan, you need to learn how to write. Okay?
It's not going to take your whole STEMI. It's not going to take the whole STEMI to get to
It's not going to take the whole STEMI.
No, and like a lot of people don't realize how much you write. We all are writers in our own way. Like if you have a business, if you're an entrepreneur and you are constantly promoting your products or services, like you're a writer. You have to write these like captions to capture people's attention. You have to write clever advertisement scripts and things like that. So we're all constantly writing. We just don't realize, how much we do it. Even like through promoting through like text messages or DMs, like you still have to formulate words, and they have to have purpose, right? They have to have a call, and they have to catch people's attention. So this will be a great space to kind of practice on writing different things that you're not usually comfortable writing about. It really is like exercising like that muscle, like that writing muscle.
Because I'm just saying, Texan has dumbed down people. They be sending stuff, and you be like, what is that? Is the brief, the text talk, the text lingo. People don't write anymore. It's like it's text talk. It's like a
new language.
See, people don't write anymore. That's like on the surface though, but like when you're talking like real life, like real conversations, business conversations, you know, professional, like things that have to do with building your brand or making money out of it or monetizing your projects. Like you have to be able to write eloquently or and speak eloquently. So it's like, yes.
So you definitely need to take the time to, like I said, invest in yourself. This is a tool you guys can use for not only writing writing out poems, figuring out, like you said, creating content. When you have to write and you're doing your Instagram posts or social media, if you want to be a social media influencer or content creator, you need to write stuff that's going to grab people and that's engaging. And so you want to be able to have different tools and different words that can capture the meaning and have people wondering like, wow, I really want to, I felt that in that. I just, I taste that or whatever. But it takes you to reach outside of your comfort zone. And that's why I'm telling you guys, take this time. What made you decide you wanted to be a writer, J. Rose, first of all? Because I started selling the conference. I ain't even telling people why you started doing poetry. Like you started out with My Crumbled Thoughts, which is a poetry aspect of what you do.
Well, My Crumbled Thoughts is my social media handle where mostly you see more of me as a poet and just all my projects that I do. And then I have like my ventures, my business stuff is on my other accounts. But I started writing when I was 16. I was in high school. I still am a really big hip hop head. So I always admired the skill to use language that the hip hop artists use, the way they toyed with language, the wordplay, the metaphors. I always like admire those type of artists. So I was always inspired. I always thought like I want to write, but I never thought like I wanted to write music. So I kind of was just like, let me try like poetry. And I wrote like, I was like 16, so I was like writing love poems, stupid shit like that. And then, but then as I got older, I realized that like writing was like an outlet for me. It was like a space for me to like express myself, no matter what it was. So, writing in so many ways like saved my life. You'll hear that a lot from poets. That poetry like saved them, and I can say that it definitely played a major part in as to like why I'm still here, because I had that outlet to be able to like write.
What do you feel about writing, Chantelle? I know you are a poet, like on the low. You're not even on the low note, because I'm blowing you up. She's a poet and she has a lyricist and she got all this creativity because she's a boss, and as a mental health specialist, we don't really throw that out there, but she actually got flow. So I need to go and put her out there. Go and get a little, tell the people when you start writing or some of your freestyle flowing that you decided to do sometime.
It's interesting because what Jasmine's saying, what J. Rose is saying, that's the story for, secretly, I think that's the story for a lot more people of color and a lot more people in general than we want to admit. But I know I was in the back of my student assignment book, filling it up with writing. I was writing stories from the time that I was younger. I was writing poems since I couldn't really write. I'd be like, Mommy, hold on a second. Because I got an idea. I need you to write something down. And she would write it. And in college, I stopped writing for myself. Like, you have to do so much writing, right? That I was just writing for school. And that's what I was giving myself. It was like, let me write this essay about mental health, like whatever. And then by the time I'm done, I'm like, why do I feel numb? Like, what's happening, right? Like, I would have random panic attacks. I would have things happen. I'm like, what is happening? Like, something just feels wrong, even though nothing's really wrong. And what I could do, which I really am happy I could do now, is that I could sit down with a feeling and just write it, right? That you could just be like, I don't know what it is, but let me figure this shit out real quick.
Yeah.
And for me, just reading that out from then until now, it's like what I call my God voice, right? Like it says, it knows more than what I know about the situation. So I'll write it out and then I'll read it. I'll be like, dang, really?
Yes, I do the same thing.
So it's in my morning routine every single day. I dance and then I write and then I meditate because I need to get it out. I need to process it. And so for me, writing, and this is evidence-based stuff too, writing is just good ways to reflect and good ways to think and good ways to create and visualize stuff. So that's why I love it, because I think before I really knew what it was doing for me, I was just using it. And then as soon as I left it, I was like, woo, something's wrong with your life. Like, I don't feel right. So now whenever I sense that people have that God voice thing, right? Whether it's through movement or writing or what, I'd be like, why don't we do it? Even when people rap, I love for people to do that. And then they'd be like, I don't want to rap because, like, because everybody's shy to do music in front of you.
Yeah.
Right.
But you just got to do a little bit of it. And everybody really wants to share that spirit. Right. So I shared it with some middle schoolers. Next thing you know, they all around me rapping and stuff. And I'm like, see, this is the God, right? Like, this is the God in writing. This is the God in performance and communication. So
right. Because I thought I had a little freestyle on me a little bit. I do a little something sometimes, and I be all hyping it, and then it came out. But I was ready. I had the personality to be a floor.
You look like,
just really, with the right beat and the right team.
Listen, I've been writing for over 20 years, and a lot of it's always been poetry, but only maybe like the last couple of years I started to like write music. And I like writing music. I never realized it's a different vibe, and that's because for me, there's a difference between poetry and spoken word. Yeah. So like I do write poetry, but I consider myself more of a spoken word artist because I'm more into like the performance aspect of doing poetry, rather than like that's why I haven't published a poetry book. Because for me, it's like I'd rather perform it. I'd rather
do an album.
Have the whole experience.
Like I'd rather do something like that than like give people something to read. I'd rather give them something to like listen. I think that when you hear my voice and how I want it to be heard, it's different from like the way you want to read it in your head.
Right. I just saw Erica's
cipher. I'm excited for the cipher now.
Listen, I just saw
that's neither here nor there. At the retreat, we're gonna be doing a cipher, so people are gonna be sharing stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna do a campfire cipher.
Share the love, because I love to hear people's writing, but the thing I love most about it is when you hear other people create, it makes you want to create.
Right. Absolutely.
How many times have you been at an open mic or you've been somewhere and you went to? I could even go to like a quartet performance. Like that's the type of I am, where I'd be like,
listen,
how do you do that? They're so in sync. That's the beauty about poetry, that I think that, I think everything is poetry, right? So, and a lot of people, they think that, especially they think spoken word is like sounds a certain way because of what they see in movies. And I think that that's what keeps them from like coming to like some of these events to like experience, poetry. And I feel bad. So if anybody out there is watching and you think that poetry sounds like this in the sun, like that's not really. I mean, sometimes you hear shit like that, but that's really not what poetry is.
Like that tone.
Yes. So I really, really like encourage you guys to, go to, tune in on some of these virtual open mics or go to an open mic in person, because you really get to see what it really is like. And it's like, there's nothing like it out there. You can go to any type of like creative event, but when you go to an event that's like full of a lot of poets, it's a whole different, like energy, like the love, the support, the inspiration, like the emotion that I've had people like crying from watching poets perform. Like I've had to get up and walk out of rooms because it was so emotionally like triggering. And I mean, it sounds like bad, but it's really not. It's like that emotional cleansing, and it feels good because you get to share that with somebody else that really takes what you feel and puts it into words. And sometimes you don't even know that you felt that way until you hear somebody say it. You're like, damn, I didn't even like, oh, got you looking at yourself like, wow. So I think that's like the beauty in poetry, and in writing in general, you know. It's nice. You're muted.
Every time I kept saying something, one of you would say something, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just let them have their moment. But so I had the opportunity recently to see Erica's band play, and so they have at the end they have an open mic part, and they
do.
Yeah, Erica's band. Yeah, the band, not her.
Okay.
I didn't see her, but I saw the band, and her band is bad. Okay, so I was able to see some live music recently, and and it was beautiful to see. So they had an open mic, and so at the end of the open mic, they come in and they sing, and the girl, she's like dum 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 dum. She had a beat in her head that had to go to her beat, and it was like dum 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 dum, and it was dum 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 dum, and then she created a song behind the dum 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 dum. But my moral of the story is that she had her own rhythm. She didn't go with the band. She just knew that she wanted to sing a song, and it was from her soul. She kicked off her shoes and she sung. Whether it went with the beat or not, she sung. And what I saw was that it was a soulful experience, right? She was on her own vibration of that the words and her dum 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 was going to create what she was trying to create. And the band wound up following her dum 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 dum. So they caught up with her dum 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 dum, and then the song came together.
Yeah.
Like the band knew how to pick up from the dum 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 dum. Even though we didn't know where it was going with the dum dum. We was like, where is she going with the dum 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 dum? And it was all about her being a butterfly, and she loved herself, but it was her moment. Okay. And the moral of the story is whatever your rhythm is, find your rhythm and flow. That's what you're saying. Is basically poetry is not a structure, it's a rhythm. It's a harmonious beat. It has no structure, it has no color. It's really how you feel put into words, and people can feel your passion. And so listen, it's okay, J Rose. I have those too. I have those little people around here. They're just not here tonight.
My daughter, she's like, let's get out of here.
It's okay. It's like they don't care if we live. They don't care. They don't care until we make it. It's like, okay, you live.
She's trying to steal my makeup mirror, and it's almost 11 o'clock. Like, what are you doing?
What are we doing?
Where is she going? Where is she going?
What are we doing? Are we doing a video?
Listen, these kids now, I have to hide all my stuff. You have nothing now. The kids have been locked in with us. We have nothing that's ours anymore.
She's probably making TikToks.
Yeah, that's what I was guessing.
The ring light is next.
Makeup at 11 o'clock feel like a TikTok kind of combination.
Right?
TikTok is taking over. I'm just saying TikTok is taking over, okay?
I gotta plug my laptop.
That's the new source of income, people. I don't know about you guys, but I'm about to start me a fan only page. I don't know what I'm gonna be. Yeah, oh, that's what it is. Okay, that's what I'm.
Fans only.
She's gonna be on a whole different site. She's gonna be on a whole other app.
Y'all already know I ain't gonna win. Y'all already know ain't nobody gonna be on my page. I don't even know where to start it at.
It's not a competition. You just make the money you make. It's lucky for you.
Right.
My friend got a W-2 from OnlyFans.
What?
How much money you got? How much money you got?
How much money you made? It's a guy too.
Oh, he must have came out.
He made like over $2,000. He started like late in the year.
Okay, all right.
What was he doing on his fans only place? See, these are things. Oh, look. Oh,
girl.
What do you think? Which people?
I don't know what he was doing on OnlyFans.
I had to finish drinking my glass.
Which people do you think make the most off of OnlyFans? If it matches with the dating app stuff, then it would be Black guys and Asian women.
Yeah,
he's a Black man. Oh, you ain't even had to tell me. I was guessing that might be money in the bank.
I've been told to do one for my feet, but I'm
I'm about to do elbows and whipped cream. I'm about to put some whipped cream on my elbow. I'm gonna start going to put elbow and whipped creams on my elbow.
Those pages for people who just eat food, like they're just eating food. It's like a thing. I can't remember what it's called. It's a whole genre of videos.
It's called mukbang.
Mukbang. That they just eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. Between the like ASMR joint and the food eating stuff, I'm learning a lot about human
Listen,
nature.
this morning, yeah, I heard this morning somebody was having it's early in the morning. They was talking about eating butt. I was like, eating butt early in the morning?
Early in the morning?
Early in the morning. I wasn't ready.
Just the morning that made the eating butt so
I
insane.
wasn't ready. Okay, I'm mad. First thing in the morning.
Can I get my coffee?
Like, I hadn't even got out. I was just like disturbed. Like, this is really what we doing right now in 2021. Like, I just can't wake up to this. Because, like, I don't want to go to bed to it, but I'm not telling people not to be the freaks of the week. Do what you feel that you need to do, but I don't want to wake up to that on my morning wake up. Like, I need to have some more constructive conversations to wake up to.
Yeah.
And it was just limited. And I was just like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore.
So, I mean, depending on your household, that could be a good morning conversation to have.
I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready. I have to turn off I don't join lives too early, but I won't be joining that one too early anymore. And the nerve of people to have an attitude with you because you don't agree. Like, I'm just appalled that people get mad at you because you don't want to take the vaccine. Something wrong with you. No, I'm ready. I don't want to take it yet. Let me wait.
Yeah, let me watch everybody else turn into a zombie first, and then maybe I'll think about it.
Because I know I've done a little research on this particular double dose one. I'm not feeling some of the ingredients, and y'all don't got to believe me. Do the research yourself. When you see what's in it, then you come back and talk to me later. But because I'm not here to be your CDC advocate, I'm trying to tell y'all what I'm not going to do, and I just don't think people should be holding you hostage. You know what I mean? Because you're not posting your little picture on IG like you got yours, and it's like, oh, you ain't got yours? No, I don't. So I guess I won't be invited to your barbecue.
You come over.
I can come to your barbecue. Thank you, J. Rose. I'll bring my mask. I know
invited to the cookout.
Yeah. Listen, cookout's gonna be limited now. People are not doing the gather. That's more reasons now. Actually, let me just be honest with y'all. I had a couple of moments I was actually happy I had the mask on because I've been cussing people out in my mask. I'll be cussing them out. I'll be, you stupid. I'll be saying some stuff in that mask, girl. I'm so glad they can't see my mouth. I'll be smirking with my eyes, but I'll be cussing them with my mouth.
Sometimes I'm happy I have it on.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's there.
Yeah. Because you have those moments where you just know some people just do stupid. They do extra shit now because of COVID. Like even just the extremities of when you order food and it's just a lot. They want you to pay for everything. They want to wrap up everything, but you ain't giving me no service. No service is out the window right now. I'm gonna wait till after COVID because they charging you more for stuff, but they're not giving you no more service.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, things are opening back up, which we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's funny how they closed everything so fast, and now they open it up so quick. It was like a long process, and now they just open it up so quick. I don't know.
For some places, it wasn't a long process. I was just visiting my boyfriend's family, and they were like, "We closed out in July and basically opened back up at the end of August."
And they've been fine, right? And they've been fine.
I feel like
they
Atlanta
really been fine in Florida. They kind of been a little fucked up in Florida, but
Florida was one of the biggest culprits.
Right, I was gonna say their specific family has been fine. Florida, the old people they get knocked out down there. So
look, I feel like Atlanta never closed.
No, Atlanta, the strip club's been open.
I feel like they never closed.
That's what I'm saying. They've been stripping and tipping on the low since the whole pandemic. Most people was going to Atlanta during the pandemic.
Every single industry that really was underground, that didn't stop at all. Nobody really stopped.
But the bums didn't die, y'all. Like, have y'all paid attention? Them same bums are still here.
Well, I mean, why would they die?
Because of COVID. Like, COVID was taking out healthy people. Look, we don't know what this. Everybody's getting quiet. Everybody just got quiet and started rocking on that.
I'm sure some bums die because they die every day from all types of shit. But you know what? When we go back to our job, this is really going to be the test because everybody knows there's somebody around wherever that you always see. Now, if when we go back to regular life, you on your route to wherever and you don't notice anybody missing, that's when we can say we don't think anybody has died. I haven't been back on my normal route. I don't know if my man's Bernie is still sitting down there on the crate. Bernie's gone.
That's true.
Downtown.
That is true.
That's true.
I don't know if you guys have been downtown lately, but downtown is not like downtown. Like
it's like a ghost town a lot of times.
New York is going to get a lot to come back. And I just pray that it comes back, because at this point we just need to start figuring out how to love each other more, people, how to take time to be kind to yourself, and to be honest with yourself on healing. And healing starts from the inside out. Nobody can fix you, but you got to be willing. Got to be a willing participant, okay? And I'm telling you that from experience. As a post-traumatic stress survivor, I am always here to tell people that is why I do this every Friday, and I find joy, and I try to bring you joy, because I want to give you hope to not give up on yourself, not give up on your dreams, and most of all, keep going, because that's all you can do. Like Chantelle said, you might not have all the answers, but if you take it one step at a time, it'll start coming to you. You can't fix what you can't fix, but what you can try, So if nobody told y'all they love you today, let me be the first one to do it. I love y'all, and you are worthy of being loved. And thank you guys for doing what you do. Like Chantelle, if it wasn't for you being a mental health specialist, helping people deal with their trauma and anxiety, I don't know what we would do. And J. Rose, girl, thank you for helping people release their writing and letting them, and being a giver. Okay, because this notebook is going to change people's lives. This journal, giving them a perspective of how to get started writing, some of the things they need to know as a writer. It's just going to open up their minds that they can do it too. So thank you for being generous and sharing your gifts and talents. And I celebrate both of you guys, because you are phenomenal women. So if I had to celebrate any other women in Women's History Month, it would be you two. And thank you for showing up. I'm going to plug the Writers Retreat again, you guys. You still have time to buy your tickets. If you have not, please log on and get your tickets right here.
Unplug yourself, y'all.
Yes, get unplugged, unclogged, get you a good couple bottles of wine. Okay, because honey, you're going to be away in the Catskills in the mountains with your notebook and some positive energy and great vibrations. I can feel it now.
And
I just know.
Y'all might be thinking I ain't got no car because we're in New York City, but we gonna have some transportation coming from the city, so you don't even have to worry about it. Just get to New York City.
And the food is gonna be excellent. I heard there's a chef on board.
Yes, they have a chef.
So we will be fed. You will be comfortable. We will be traveling. Everything will be handled. All you gotta do is get there.
And it's time to get that. It's a new thing going on. They call it is it clam camping, like camping? What is that camping thing?
Glamping. We're not
glamping on.
We're not at that in the world.
Okay. Look, I got excited. I'm like, get your okay. Well, it's gonna be in a cabin. This is gonna be
yes, it's a beautiful house.
Okay,
it's not a cabin. It's like a mansion. Like it's huge.
It's a huge ranch house. So with multiple places, all types of stuff.
And there's some creeks and there's some water and it's stars under the moon type of settings. And if you're a photographer, if you are trying to get a rustic, some back scenery of upstate New York and the mountains, this might be a great opportunity for you to build some great content. Log on. Thank you guys. Ladies, thank you guys once again for tuning in. I'm just step you eyes out for a second, and I want to tell my people, thank you guys for tuning into the One Dope Chick Who Didn't Quit. Your girl Trena Be Real. I am here every Friday. I got one more to go before the season ends, and I'm gonna end with a bang next week. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you who my guest is because I like to surprise y'all during the week, but I thank y'all every Friday for taking your time to come and love on me so I can love on you. Thank you for tuning in to the One Dope Chick Who Didn't Quit. I'll see y'all next week. Same time, same place. Have a great night.
Thank you for tuning in to One Dope Chick Who Didn't Quit. Streaming live every Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Queen Blueprint TV. And follow her on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Trena Be Real.